bum, 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 bum. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Lunes Live with the Compas. We are back for this episode where we get into the latest news of the NFL. We'll give our takeaways from the Caleb Williams Pro Day at USC, the Canelo Munguia LA presser. Yes, your compas were there. It was a very long day for me. By the way, LA, I have a bone to pick with you. There was some good and some bad. We also today our grand get. Last week we have Haley Elwood. This week we get Lorenzo Neal. We get Lorenzo Neal. We're obviously waiting to see. The dude has a busy schedule, so he's trying to fit us in. So hopefully we'll be able to get him in, ask him some thoughts on what's going around right now in the NFL. Plus, Vic, the producer, joins us for rapid fire to cap off this loaded episode. All right, Gilberto, I bet you have an engagement question for the viewers and or listeners.
Yes, I do, Fernando. Before I ask the question, I'm gonna put pressure on you. You are boys with Lorenzo Neal, so you better be on the show. I remember that one time you sort of cheated on me. You cheated on me, podcast cheater, right? Like you had two podcasts at the same time.
Yeah.
One was Lorenzo, so you do know the guy, but we're gonna put the pressure on you to see if it jumps on. So it's a 50-50 shot right now, Fernando. So we'll see if it happens. But for the engagement question of the week. If you're into college basketball, I became a college basketball fan like 2 weeks ago, so I'm really in tune with college basketball. March Madness, my favorite time of the year, Fernando. March Madness, you better remember tomorrow's a special day, so put that on your calendar or head, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, back to the point. Has your March Madness bracket busted? Do you have a bracket? You made a pool? No gambling. It's okay to gamble. I don't know. Whatever. But okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. When I said it, I was like, I should have probably different. Okay, we know it's March Madness, different terms. Has your bracket busted? There you go. So I have UConn in my championship round, but I'm one of those people that loves to do upsets. So I picked UConn, the favorite, but then I have a bunch of upsets, and that messed up my bracket. Fernando, should I say messed up instead of the
SDSU is gonna bust your bracket on Thursday, I think.
The homer pick. How far do you have to say going?
They lose to UConn. I think that's where I had them going. No, hell no. Right now they play UConn on Thursday.
Oh, you're right. It's 316. Yeah. I'm thinking about last year where somebody
no.
in the Final Four.
No, I have them. I had them going to the Sweet 16, and that was it. I think they lost a lot of size, so I was like, yeah, no, I don't have them going further than this. So that's where I basically had them going.
Busted and lost a lot of size. All right, here we go, Fernando. That's it. That's the engagement question of the week. Has your March Madness bracket gone up in flames? There you go. Better.
Well, right now, let's see what he's got cooking up for us.
Is he gonna do a promo like?
It's your boy Danny Diego. How we doing, everybody? Anyway, let me get my serious face on because let me tell you something. I got some breaking news. Are you ready for this? Like Triple H says, no, I said, are you?
He's angry at you, by the way.
Well, the Compas are writers during the day and video analysis by night. Well, they're putting it together now for the Compas on the Beat newsletter. Yes, the Compas will be sharing news and analysis to your inbox every Thursday. They'll send you direct links to their latest interviews and keep you updated with everything going on the network. You already know what it is. One-stop shop for you. For now, we'll drop the knowledge on the Chargers, what NFL, what little football, what in WWE. Gilberto has got you covered with boxing, MMA, and NFL. And of course, heck, we'll even have a section for my music playlist of the month, some country music in there, lots of it. You already know, little Luke Combs, what? Morgan Wallen, what? Coulter Wall, what? Vic, the producer, will share his movie recommendations and some inside baseball. Baseball isn't my favorite. A little too slow for me. No violence. But the Compas will cover it all with a loaded newsletter every week. How can you subscribe, you ask? How? Let me tell you, it is simple. Visit compasonthebeat.com. That is, one more time, compasonthebeat.com. There you'll see a shiny gold box where you can enter your email and then just hit the subscribe button. That's it. boom, it's over. That's all you got to do. You're set to get the Compas on the Beat newsletter, and you want to jump in early because I hear the Compas on the Beat blog is coming in soon. Maybe your boy Dan and Dago will get in there, start typing a little things. You know, I see that stooge, that scumbag, Gilberto, do that. So if he can do it, anybody can do it. I might get in there. We'll see. Get some hot takes rolling. All right. Remember what to do. Go to compasonthebeat.com to subscribe to our newsletter. Let's get back to the program.
Thank you so much for that, Dan and Dago. Unfortunately, I know Jorge and everybody are kind of hoping. Oh, damn. He's not here. So, like, it's going to be hard for. I know some of that, but.
What happened?
Yeah, no.
Oh, he's doing
It's
the
in French. So, yeah.
I thought it was in Espanol. I'm like, ellos güeyes over there.
We're making that fool do too much, Jorge. Jorge, unfortunately, Dan isn't here. I don't want to give away any of the news that Dan has, but the dude is
not
killing
aware
it right now.
Of the news. Okay, he has news.
Yeah, he just what was that song that Tatis put when he subiendo de nivel? Dan just subir de nivel. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I'll let him tell it if he wants to tell it, but Dan won't be joining us today. He'll be here tomorrow though for a special celebration, obviously. But yeah, he'll be here tomorrow. He's been kind of in and out doing some stuff the last few days. So
go ahead.
Here we go. It's in French. Let's go, compas. We are here. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Next time Dan is on the show, you got to quiz him with the French there. Moi 42. I know I butcher your name.
Well, he'll be here. He'll be here tomorrow. So make sure 4 o'clock, Gilbert. I think so. Make sure you guys are
4:30 around that time. It's gonna be what did Jorge call it? Tuesdays with Dan or Thursday? I don't know.
Tuesday,
Taco Tuesdays with Dan. I don't know.
Something like that. But yeah, Dan will be back. I know he wasn't here last week. He will be. He said he will do it.
There you go.
He will be here tomorrow. So I hope you guys are excited because obviously, Athir, how are you doing?
What's up? What's up, Athir?
He'll be here. So make sure you guys are tuned in for all that.
You go from Papa to Big Bear. What's going on here? Oh, there you go. Dirty Dan Tuesdays. Hey, by the way, when you mentioned new level, no
guacamole Monday.
Stop it, Jorge. The nasty guacamole. And by the way, shout out to everybody who watched the Haley interview last week. And those
I have a bone to pick with people
who toughed it out. Yeah, with the Love Is Blind section there. But Fernando, next time your brother jumps on the show, you mentioned new level, a different song in Espanol, but give him the hip hop version. ASAP Ferg, we're on a new level. Ooh,
yeah. That, and you know what's funny? That's the way I was gonna go, but then I was like, I'll go this way.
Not copyright issue. There you
go. That's why. So Jorge says you're the.
Oh yeah, I brainwashed her. Okay.
By the way, we appreciate everybody who watched last week, but obviously, like we try and be really interactive with you guys, and I know Gilbert will probably kill me for saying this, but like clowns that were in the comments, like, oh, why are you guys talking about that? Hey, we talk about everything. So I mean, for the people who liked it, we appreciate you guys. For other people who were all mad and in the comments and trying to just be assholes, like, get out of here. Like we're gonna do different things. You have to remember, like, yeah, we try and involve people, but this is our show. In the words of Gilbert, this is our show. So we want to do something different. Haley was cool with it. Haley's awesome. So we did something different. So I don't know why there was so much crap last week. I mean, hell,
it was 40 minutes long. We did go 20 minutes Chargers.
25. Yeah, and then you guys got to ask questions as well. So I didn't understand.
Yeah, I think our problem, Fernando, was not just clipping out the portion and just Chargers talk to please those people, but also it's also an opportunity to promote What's Up Bolts with Fernando Ramirez and Dan and Dago. Daniel Ramirez, full name right there. He has a real name, by the way. So
he's going to be angry that you mentioned
24. Daniel, or does he want Daniel?
No, because
oh wait, come on, he's your brother. We could do the math here. But anyways, Danny Dago is not related to Fernando. Go check out What's Up Bolts.
Hey, Jorge's the one that started that, by the way, and now people really do think that Dan is just me in a wig or in a hat and with a beard on. So,
sorry.
So Dan. Yeah, people are just oh, we appreciate it. Poke Poppin' TV. Yeah, Haley was awesome. We did everything we could. Like we touched everything. The thing is that Haley loves the show. We watch the show, so we thought, oh, we'll add some. We'll add some. Yeah, you forgot an ass after that. And a es after that. Dumbasses. But yeah, no, we appreciate Haley. Haley's awesome. She is one of us, so she is truly one of a kind. But yeah, just had to get that out there. Again, we appreciate everybody who watched. We'll try and get better at letting you guys know who we're having on. Maybe in the morning we'll tweet it out so that you guys know
What's
ahead
a little
of time.
tough, Fernando. People sometimes could be like 50-50.
Yeah, no,
like our guy today. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing. Like, we don't want to tell you guys, oh, somebody's gonna jump on and then something happens. But I could tell. Athir said he wanted to ask Kaylee a question. Why didn't you ask Kaylee what happened to the Playmaker show? What's that?
That's the one I think with women in media. I think, right?
Oh, is that one it? Okay.
I could be wrong though. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. No, we'll be better.
Kevin saying hello, Kevin.
What's up, Kevin? We'll get better at doing that kind of stuff. Like we will try and announce. The thing is, we just don't want you guys to be disappointed if the person doesn't end up showing up, but we'll be better at doing that. Gilbert and I will tweet it from the Compas page. We'll retweet it. Make sure you guys stay tuned on that. But like I said, it's kind of tough sometimes because people are busy and then it's draft time. So
yeah, and we're trying to do it live too. I think the Q&A portion at the end we really like. Fernando, credit to you. You've been doing that at the end of the interview. So to get them on live, it's a little difficult. Obviously, we could have worked out like a better time with Lorenzo, but I still have faith. I think he's gonna jump on. I believe.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too is that I remember when I was like younger and I was a kid or whatever. Like I would have loved to have had people jump on a live or do this or answer my question. So I'm like, oh, like let's give people a chance to answer questions and do that. So I'm always cool doing that. There you go. Yeah, Playmakers the show. Well, wow, Athir, good job on that one. Let's clap it up for Athir. And Gilbert, because Gilbert.
Remember, you got to start reading the comments for the audio people. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Shout out to the audio people. They've been giving us crap because they only want to do audio. They don't want to see the mustache or Fernando's nice hair, so they go audio. When that's okay. There's a lot of traffic in LA or San Diego. They got to drive around.
Oh, don't get me started on that bit. Moy says
we could. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah. Looking forward to hear from Lo. Hey, we appreciate that. Yeah, we try and do all that stuff for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had Canelo. Well, we had some Canelo stuff. We had his trainer, Eddie Reynoso. Yeah. We had Oscar de la Hoya. I got right in his face and I was asking him questions. I could see he got kind of ticked off about the like the 3 questions I asked him. He seemed kind of like why? Like I'm like, hey,
it was a good question. We're trying to get out there. Yeah. Oh, that too. I think you know him with the Ryan Garcia question. Like, is the fight still on with David Haney? But I wanted to know when he said, I think he said 1,000%. But yeah, there's a lot of content on the channel last week. Thank you, Moy, for bringing that up. But yeah, from covering Canelo versus Munguia press conference to being at the pro day that Caleb Williams had at USC, a nice week for the Compas.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. So, and then obviously we were at the USC Pro Day. We'll get into all that stuff right now. But Athia, that's a good that was a good question. I'll ask her and I'll get back to you. I think I'll text her later on and next week or tomorrow I'll have an answer for you, Athia. So make sure you tune back in tomorrow. I admire Haley for keeping your streak alive. Can't please everybody. Yeah, no, Delbert. We yeah, you're right on that one.
Hey, Delbert is a big time supporter, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, no, we appreciate. No, I've seen Delbert a couple of times. I appreciate. He has some funny stuff sometimes, so I laugh at that. Kevin is wondering thoughts on coach's interview today and hip drop.
You want to start with that?
Hip drop. See, look, okay. Let me go to this real quick. So I've seen that there's a mix between this. I think we're at the point where you might as well just bring flags and just start playing like that because it's an offensive driven league, it looks like. But here's some tweets that I saw. Let's start off with Kyle Long. I'm happy the hip drop tackle is out of the game. I am all for the league trying to minimize the potential for serious injury. This league has 100% rate of injury, but the hip drop tends to be the cause of injuries that are harder to come back from. Good job, NFL. 100%. So what? Now it went to 99.9% because of the hip drop. Sean Merriman surprised me. I'm glad they banned the hip drop tackle.
Wow.
The problem is there's so many other unnecessary rules. It comes across as another rule, but they got this one right. Ryan Clark, go ahead and outlaw bringing offensive players to the ground. That's where it's headed. Make every game the Pro Bowl. This is getting ridiculous. Torrey Smith, what is a hip drop tackle? Anyone that is tackling someone bigger typically drops their weight. Folks have been doing this with their dad, uncle, big brother in living rooms for years. It's natural to do when tackling someone bigger than you. Johnny Hecker, former Ram, NFL banning football, wild. Darius Slay, it's about to be a lot of missed tackles. And then I saw, so then Will Compton goes, watch some ex-NFL offensive linemen who probably played for the Bears come out and say that the hip tackle penalty is a good thing. And then obviously Kyle Long obviously said it. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then here's the watch this. NFL defenders next season. when they see Derrick Henry next season.
Hey, it's starting to get to a point. You want to do kind of like a protest, and in the middle of a game, just go ahead. Some Matador defense right there. I could definitely see that happening, Fernando.
By the way, before we get to that, I just need to show this real quick, just because I got a laugh out of this. So AQ Shipley, former center Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dan and Dagos met him and got to talk to him a couple of times. He was out here in Coronado. Watch what he tweets. So here's Russell Wilson working out in a freaking shirt. You can see him right here. He's in a Steelers shirt and he's wearing like all the greats and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So that's what AQ Shipley points out. He goes, nothing better than working out indoors with sunglasses on. Oh my God, I got such a kick out of that. But Gilbert, I mean, you've heard what my stance is. I think it's we're just headed to flag football at this point. What did you make of the new rule?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when I saw the NFLPA's, they had that statement saying we do not agree. That's when I'm like, you know what? You can't get the players. The players are the ones doing the tackling. You can't get the NFLPA on board. To me, it feels like it like put it on hold. Like keep trying to talk about it. Get people on the same page. Trying to figure it out because Fernando, honestly, I'm confused about what the defensive players have to do now. And if the players are confused, like who cares if I'm confused? If they're confused, they don't know what the hell to do. Like you mentioned, Fernando, if there's a smaller player trying to bring down George Kittle or Travis Kelce, what the hell do you do at that point? You can't go for the hip. You can't go low. You can't go for above the shoulders. So I guess kind of like wrap them around the chest. But it's like they've been learning this technique for years and years, like people were saying. So honestly, I get what the NFL is trying to do. They're trying to make the game, last for many generations because there's too many concussions, too many injuries, torn ACLs, pop Achilles. Like it's a physical sport. But when everybody's confused, you can't just force people to change the rules. It's not like it's not like the kickoff rule, Fernando, where people are saying, well, let's try something out for a year and we'll go back to it, or if we like it or not. This is tackling. It's very important in football. You got to tackle. So to me, if players are confused, I say you should wait it out. But all the owners approved it. I don't know why. Maybe the owners are getting scared that the NFL won't be around in 30 years. I really don't get why they rush to do this. It's all about money when it comes to them. So for me, if the players aren't on board, I don't know. Maybe you could do like a poll where if it's like all the players in the NFL and most of them disagree, I say you wait it out. But right now, it just feels like everybody's confused. And what the hell we're doing at this point? Bring out the flags? I don't know, Fernando.
It's funny right now. Jorge put he's like, this is the way the NFL players are gonna have to tackle the DBs.
And I got the squeeze.
I think so. Like, imagine a small DB trying to get down with
okay, somebody that we cover, Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah, imagine.
Like that's gonna
George Kittle.
I understand that there's freak injuries, but we have to remember too is that you're just giving the referees more ammunition for all this stuff. Like one guy right now tweeted out, hold on, I got this one. He goes, Tony Romo, oh no, Jim, I don't know if he hip dropped here. Jim, let's go to the experts here. What do you got for us, Gene? Gene Sarator. Yeah, obvious hip drop. That's going to cost Buffalo 15 yards and a chance to stop Patrick Mahomes. Tony, wow, you can't help Mahomes beat you. So like I've been seeing Charger fans also tweet out like it's gonna be 3rd and 15. The Chargers are gonna stop Mahomes, or 4th and 15. They're gonna stop him by Joey Bosa like bringing him down, and then it's gonna be a hip drop tackle. So
There's
yeah,
gonna be
it's
so
just
many flags, like from September to October. They're gonna be
they're
like,
not
this is
gonna
the
know
worst.
what it is. Okay, we don't know what a freaking catch is, and now we're gonna know what a hip drop tackle is. Like I don't know.
I honestly, I get both sides. I get it. You're trying to protect the players. You want to like imagine all these star quarterbacks got hurt last year, torn ACLs, popped Achilles. So you got to protect the players. But like, I don't know. This just seems too rushed to me. You got to figure something else out. At least like teach the players what the hell to do, because nobody knows what the hell to do.
Yeah, no, I definitely oh, by the way, Lorenzo Neal just texted me. He said that his mother-in-law is a little sick, so they're gonna have to take care of her. So he will not be showing up today. He said tomorrow might be better for him. So maybe we will have him on tomorrow. So make sure you guys are on the lookout for that. Hopefully his mother-in-law is okay.
That's most important.
But but yeah, no, we'll definitely try and have him on tomorrow. You know, it's funny. Lorenzo's favorite person, and it's not even me, it's Dan and Dago. So that'll be interesting if he jumps on when Dan and Dago's here, because I know Dan.
Everybody becomes friends with Dan for some reason. I don't know why.
So last year I went to a camp and I took Dan with me, and Lorenzo was there, and they were just geeking out, both of them. Like Dan just kept on telling Lorenzo, dude, you were an animal. Like you knocked people's heads off. You did this, you did that. And then Lorenzo was like, your brother's juicing me up, man. I like him better than I do you. I was like, yeah, that tends to happen a lot. So
he is a football coach, so that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no. So we'll definitely have Lorenzo on tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. We'll probably have him on around the same time, around 4:30. So yeah, 4:30. So oh my god.
Actually, yeah, they will be together if that happens. Yeah,
have Dan and Lorenzo on live. This will be gold.
Jorge says, "Oh man, please,
Oh yeah,
hand sign emojis for saying thank you or praying. I don't know. Pray. There you go. Praying hands. Have Dan and Lorenzo on the live. This will be YouTube gold. I agree.
There you go. So you got everybody wants to see Dan with Lorenzo tomorrow. If more people
imagine Dan and Lorenzo talking about the rule change on the hip tackle.
You know what? One of these days, we have to do a live, but like in person with Lorenzo. Like that way, Dan and Lorenzo can talk about like
these shows,
hand placement, and this and that. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of people coming out and talking about the hip drop and stuff, but it's just like everything else. We don't know what a catch is. We don't know what Jorge says. The stars are aligning. This Lorenzo Neal and Dan and Dago are meant to go live. There you go. Kevin Shakira knows how to hip drop. Hey, you're not wrong on that one.
You could teach the class, this offseason.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, I'd take that class. I'd ace.
Yeah,
that
I was gonna
class.
say I would.
But yeah, and that's the thing, is that there's so much controversy now because the catch, like some people say Des Bryant caught it, other people say they don't, or that he didn't. People, the Seattle one, some people say it's a pick, other people say it was a remember the one where they had the replacement referees?
Oh yeah,
I think with this rule change, I think what we need to do now is enforce that referees need to be full-time employees. I think this is it, because this year it could be a mess. Like I'm telling you guys, I'm seeing a lot in other sports. I'm seeing a lot of people kind of go at referees a little bit more and more. And I mean, we all know what happens down in like Brazil and in Colombia and all this other stuff. Like people are going to start getting even more mad at referees. So I think full-time, and people are going to blame that. They're going to be like, they're not full-time employees. We need somebody who's going to be here full-time, all that. So I think this is the offseason to make them full-time employees, make them do what the players do, go through film, go through this, go through that, make them do all that stuff and try and be better. I mean, you're never going to be able to take out the human element of it, but at the same time, I just think that the NFL kind of dropped the ball with this one.
Are you trying to say, Fernando, that Shohei Ohtani likes to bet on football? I don't know. Just saying.
He said his bookie did, or his bookie, his translator did it
The
all.
translator did
I've
it.
never seen somebody trust their translator that much. I would never trust anybody to handle my money. Like that is crazy. Like
Supposedly they were like best friends, but I know
yeah,
I'm
I don't
jumping
give a
the
shit. I mean, and you know
conversation.
what's funny? I think a lot of athletes and a lot of like celebrities do that stuff, but how many times haven't you seen like where they kind of get screwed out or this or that? I mean, hell, like I don't know if people have seen the show Schitt's Creek, but he had somebody Dan Levy, he had somebody looking at his finances, and then that person screwed him out of all this money. So yeah,
It's
no, there's
fake,
no
but
way.
it's a good example though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the real life example. I mean,
He
how
did
many
have the
players
city though. He bought a city. He didn't lose that.
Yeah, exactly. Shit. Yeah, Shit's Creek. But I just wonder how many people haven't we seen? How many athletes or famous people haven't been screwed by agents or this or that? I would not let anybody else touch my money. I mean, I just don't get it. But yeah, Kevin, I don't get it either. I don't know how refs are not full-time employees. That's just weird to me. But Gilbert, are you done with the hip drop? You want to move on to something?
Can we go on to
Can I just answer one question?
Yeah,
Because
go ahead.
Theo was
About the hip
asking me.
drop? Yeah.
No. He had a question about is it true the rumor that in the building they will trade back no matter who is on the board, including Marvin Harrison Jr. Theo, I don't know. I think the way they've been talking about it, it's he's talking about the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think what these guys are gonna do right now is they're gonna see what, because he said the draft starts at 5. So I think he might be trying to bait Minnesota and jumping up in front of them with Arizona, and then they keep the 5th pick, and who knows? I mean, honestly, it's hard to gauge what Jim Harbaugh's doing. That's why I told you guys, like in the past, like you can kind of see what Staley and Telesco were doing, or Anthony and Telesco. Like now, these guys like and we thought Telesco had his cards against his chest. These guys just they put their cards down on the table.
What did you call it, Fernando? What time of the year are we in?
Weirdo time. We are in weirdo time. So yeah.
Did you notice
right now,
all these interviews at the owners meeting were all like, yeah, my phone's ringing for this trade offer. Yeah, we're not set on a quarterback. Yeah, come call us. It's all smoke.
the Patriots did it. The Cardinals have been doing it. Like
who's gonna say, yeah, we're set on a quarterback. Yeah, we're set on Marvin Harrison. They're all saying, come call us, and you have a massive offer. We will maybe take it. That's all they're doing right now. It's really annoying, but it's part of the game.
I hope on 420 somebody is like, oh, this trade is happening, and they're like, no, it's all smoke. Don't you see it's 420? Like I would get a kick out of something like that.
What if there's a GM on April 1st, on April Fool's Day, saying, hey, I'll offer you 8 first-round picks for this guy, and he's like, psych, it's April Fool's. Yeah.
Who was it that was like, oh, so is this somebody called the Patriots, right? And asked if it was the Rams. Didn't they call and say, like, is Tom Brady available? Like the Rams called somebody called the Patriots one time, and then they asked, well, is Tom Brady available
on April 1st?
No, just in general. And like that, they hung up the phone because they asked that. But I can't remember who that was. Don King accounting firm. But yeah,
he's still promoting. I don't know. He's still trying as a boxer promoter.
Oh my God, Jorge's always trying to change our name. Compas on the bong. And you know what's funny, Jorge? I've never smoked a day in my life, so there you go. I
cannot say.
What were you saying? You wanted to move on to what?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to go off of more rule changes, and I wanted to ask you: have you caught up on the new kickoff? I guess proposed.
Yeah. I remember when we were doing the XFL stuff. I remember.
Is that what they got it from? I forgot.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember. I actually tweeted out, "This is what the XFL is doing." I'm like, I could see it in the NFL in a couple of years, and now.
I was trying to catch up who likes it, and Andy Reid apparently loves it. So yeah, he called it exciting. I don't remember it being that I guess of a game changer, especially in the XFL. But I guess it seems like you liked it, Fernando.
Well, I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I just thought that's where the NFL wants explosive plays.
Yeah.
As you could tell with everything that they're doing. So that's an explosive play. That's something that could end up being better for them. I know they're big on the whole, you're not running down the field like a psychopath, stuff like that. I think now you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can load up on onside kicks, right? Like you can load 6 on one side or 7. Some maybe I'm wrong.
I don't
I
think
thought I
so,
saw
but
something like
I just did the research on the kickoff rule, and it's like they have the kicker all the way by themselves, and then there's 2 returners who could catch the ball or maybe return if they want to by themselves, and then the rest are all together. I forget where, maybe the 40, 35-yard line. They're all just together, waiting for the play to develop, and then they start going off without having the whole collision like you mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly just I'm
It's
ready
a good
to
way
see
to keep the special teamers. You know, they need their jobs too. They got the kick returners and all that. So I think I like them for that. But I wanted to get your thoughts, and I think we're both on the same page. I was still confused about it until I could have just watched the film on the XFL, and I totally forgot about it.
Oh, look, here we go. I found my tweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not one to pat myself on the back, but hold on, let me freaking.
So when it passes, you better do the retweet.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, I should.
Pass.
Well, actually, I can't because of what I put. Vince McMahon in the XFL might be onto something here. The kicker is at the 35-yard line, but the kickoff team is on the opposing 35-yard line and can't move until the returner catches the ball. This is to prevent collisions. Wonder if the NFL would adopt.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I remember this.
I still want them to take that freak instead of the onside kick. You take the 4th and 20 from whatever 25-yard line, and then if you get it, you move on. That's the one I want to see.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, some guy goes, "This is awful." Well, guess what?
Oh wow. Okay.
It's a reality now.
I'm not saying it's the best thing, but it's a good way to kind of solve the issue by injuries. But worth a try.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm also of that mindset. If you guys are just coming in to listen to Lorenzo Neal, Lorenzo had to go deal with a family issue, so he will be on tomorrow. We're hoping he will be on tomorrow at around the same amount of time. Jorge is pushing for Dan and Dago and Lorenzo Neal together. I think so. We're definitely on pace for that. Jorge is asking, is that what they're doing with the kickoff rule? Yes, Jorge, that is what they're expecting to do. So
it hasn't passed yet, but I think it's going to pass in a couple of days. But they're trying to propose it.
So the hip drop thing already passed, though.
That's already passed. Yeah, that's done.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, we'll see. We're all pushing for Dan and Lorenzo. Yeah, no, okay, let's see. Kevin is going to make me speak and read a lot. What happens in the future if college football players make more than rookie draft contracts, including endorsement deals? I think Caleb is going to wake some people up. Rookie with a brand.
Yeah.
That's it. Did you see what Jalen Johnson said, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Don't bring the Hollywood stuff over here. I like it. Yeah, he's a veteran.
No,
yeah.
I love it.
He just got paid. He has security now.
If you're already coming in with that kind of notion in there, that's going to be a little bit dangerous. You know what's interesting, Kevin, and we'll talk about this more with Dan and Dago tomorrow because I'm sure he's going to want to say something about it. But I think Dion right now is setting us up for the potential.
Oh man!
Of you heard what he said.
I saw that. The Eli trying to pull a Eli.
Yeah. So I definitely think that something like that's going to happen. But
if Shadur somehow has like a really amazing 2024 season and he's like the next best thing, then sure. But he's like, if he would have entered the draft right now, he will be what, the 6th best quarterback?
Dion said he'd be the 2nd quarterback in this draft.
I don't know. I felt like he kind of fell off. Like he got a lot of hype early on, and then it kind of became like he might be the 4th or 5th. So I don't know. I just don't like the approach, but I get it. You got to sell yourself.
But I think he's going to change. But I think that's going to open the floodgates. I really do with what Kevin is saying.
Yeah, the more control
and everything
you get,
else.
yeah.
I think they're going to open the floodgates, and it's going to be even worse now. But I mean,
well, that's how it is. Like even in regular society, if the bigger brand you get the more followers on YouTube or the more Instagram followers, the more money you get, and it's made people do like you mentioned, weirdo stuff on weirdo time. So
yeah,
here we like to be. You want to be authentic and real. Come to Compas on the beat. That's my shit.
Exactly. But I just wonder what's gonna happen. But I'm telling you, slowly but surely, we're opening up the floodgates for stuff like that. This like next, and remember, he didn't just none of my Shadur. He said Travis as well.
And then he said Shiloh too. Maybe he said maybe.
Oh, you know what? If Coach JB said Shiloh's going in the 5th, 6th, 7th round anyway, he ain't gonna have a say. So, but I actually do. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that team would take Shador next year high. There were some games where I was impressed with him. There were some other games where I wasn't. But like that Colorado State game, I was pretty impressed with his fourth quarter.
He's a quarterback. He could be the first pick overall. He's a quarterback, and it's supposed to be a weak class in 2025.
Yeah, he could. But I don't know. I'm really interested to see kind of what happens with Shador and with all that. But Gilbert, let's move on a little bit. We were speaking of Caleb Williams. We were at his pro day. Just real quick, Jorge said, I don't think that'll go well and over well in locker rooms. I mean, he already has Keenan Allen, who we'll talk about right now. He's already right there, so that's a big plus for Caleb. Shador has to be the Heisman winner, or else he won't have much say. I think so too. I think this is a big. Moy says that this year Shador was stat padding at some point. Yeah, towards the end, you could totally tell he was. And then it wasn't a good look that Deion's like, well, my son's not going to play. Like he's hurt. He's not going to play. They need to protect him better up on the offensive line. So I don't know. I don't know what you think.
I don't know. I want to be the old school guy saying I hate all this.
I'm glad Shador stayed though. I don't think he should have come out this year. Well, this year would have been hard.
He like you're making money now in college football. He knows his dad's trying to build a program into a winning program. They had a rough year. If he leaves, like they lose their star quarterback, so they need him for that. So I get why he stayed. You're getting paid. You're helping out your dad build the program, and then also you're probably going to be a top 3, top 5 pick next year because the quarterback class is weak. And you know, Fernando, there's every single year in the draft, 5 to 7 teams are desperate for a quarterback, so they could take a chance on a Shador Sanders. And I get, remember Kenny Pickett, 2022, he went in the 20th pick in the first round. There was almost no first round quarterbacks. I can't remember the last time, Fernando. Maybe you remember that a quarterback did not go in the first round. I think EJ Manuel was the only one in 2013.
I remember that. Yeah, so, and he was.
So there could be some rough years, but Shador I think he will be a better prospect than like an EJ Manuel or Kenny Pickett. So,
but the problem is going to be with Shador, if we're being honest, is that he's going to come in and he's been taught only under his father. So what is the next team going to hire him as the head coach? Like,
I hope he has a private workout coach, like a different kind of style or play style, just kind of get him ready for the NFL. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Prime is going on a path where he is throwing players he recruited under the bus. He's recruiting class this year. It's not very good. I
do agree with that, Moy, real quick, but I think Deion Sanders is building the program to the way the kids are nowadays, like the whole NIL. He knows how to do that. You want attention, come on. You want to get paid, come on here. But the whole stuff that you just mentioned, Moy, I agree. That could be an issue.
No, I completely agree with that. It's gonna be interesting. But speaking of Caleb Williams, Gilbert and I were both there at his pro day. We'll do Wednesday first and then do what we did on Tuesday.
All right.
We were at his pro day on Wednesday. Gilbert got there right on time. They waited for him till they got started.
I got there so early that it took 2 hours after I got there for them to get going. At least a throwing session with Caleb. I'll just say that.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. But we got to see Jeff Miller. We got to chat with some other people. So that was pretty cool. They had donuts. I was surprised with how many donuts they had there.
Yeah.
And it was Randy's, which was actually pretty good.
I only had one. I was proud of myself. I wanted to get.
Oh yeah, I only had one. I only had one. I was thinking. I was like, wait. No,
you did last year for a bit. I don't know where you went.
Last year I had 2. No. I had to jump on a podcast that somebody had asked me to jump on. But just I'll tell you this: Brendan Rice looked really good. That kid. I mean, I remember I asked him the question. Gilbert's like, "Man, you're all over the place." Because like, if you can tell, on one video I'm on this side, on another video I'm over here, on another video I'm over there. Like the scrum was just too much. Like I saw Nick Hamilton get out of there. And our compa Nick Hamilton, and he was sweating bullets because like everybody was just on top of him. So Jorge, is that what you gave up? Did you give that up for Len or what? No, I'm just wondering. I know Dan and Dago gave up soda.
Don't give up the whole. I think that's
You're the worst. So Brendan was actually really good. I thought his face kind of like illuminated when I asked him about the Chargers, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, man, I love Jim Harbaugh. Like Harbaugh's like we had oh, he gave up caffeinated coffee.
Oh, that's
Wow,
tough. I can't
congrats
do
to
that.
you. Yeah. So he Brendan was like, yeah, I had dinner with them. They're awesome. I really love Jim. Another thing that got me about what he said about Jim was the fact that he said that Jim heavily recruited him out of high school. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, oh, I've been taking college everywhere else, and now I got high school. So boom. So he heavily recruited him. So it'll be interesting. I actually thought we were going to see Jerry Rice there, but then I thought, no, you know what? It's his son's day. Why would he be there? So I thought that was pretty cool. Saw Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was there. Got to chat with him for a little bit. Been drinking decaf. It's basically black water. Jorge, I think third round would be where Brendan is probably going to go. So if the Chargers are going to go, I mean, who knows? Maybe with the way their team's looking right now, they could go receiver, corner, or defensive player, and then receiver again. In the draft.
He's starting to get comparisons of Puka Nakua, so he might go up a little higher than that. I feel like.
Yeah. No, you just never know. And
he's not as fast, good routes, but he's a big dude, physical. He could block. I think he might go up a little bit. I don't know, but he could be
Caleb's best throw was a throw to him. It was an in route, and it was a deep in route, and he had to adjust his body to catch it. Make of that what you will. But he made a very good grab out of it, and I was like, wow, okay, that was pretty interesting. The way he kind of adjusted his body. So no, Jorge, I don't know. A Creative Chrome, we'll get to you in a second. I don't think he's getting that hype because of his dad. I think it's because he's kind of he was at USC kind of coming up and all that, and I don't think he just doesn't seem to me, Gilbert, as a kid that like his dad is his dad and he's his own man. That's kind of the way I've gotten it. Like, I mean,
I've actually liked that he's gone a bunch of, I don't know if you saw him last week. He went on a bunch of TV shows last week and he got asked about his dad constantly and he didn't care. He's like, I'm cool with it. I'm used to it. They even asked him, how's it being hanging out with Bronny James at USC? You guys have kind of similar stories with your dad's being famous. And he was taking a good approach. I don't care. I'm my own person here. I'm going to, we could figure it out. So some people are kind of like, I don't want to talk about my dad. I know he's famous. I want to create my own path, but he embraced it. And I think that's kind of a good sign. Like somebody like, whatever question you want to throw at me, I'm okay. I'm good with it. But Fernando, you're right. He stood out at the workout. And I'll say this about Caleb Williams' workout. It was very thoughtful of him to participate in the throwing session, to put eyeballs on his teammates, but he wasn't going like a full workout. That wasn't his best stuff there, unless there's something going wrong here for the number one pick in the draft, but it wasn't his best like full workout. But Brendan Rice did pop out for me. I'm like, this guy's physical, cut, make some good cuts there. Obviously, they're in shorts there. But the way he spoke to the media, the way he worked out, seeing him making the rounds, I was pretty impressed with him.
You know what's funny? If you say something negative about Caleb's pro day, everybody like jumps down your throat. But I wasn't really. I was like,
oh, maybe the number one pick. Why do you want to kind of have an intense workout? But he participated.
Yeah,
that was good for his team.
After when he comes up and he's like, "Oh, I thought that was a great one," I'm like, "Bro, come on! You and I both know you could have done way better than that." But
he was kind of critical at first. He kind of answered that he missed some throws and he was being honest. But you're right.
You know what? I'm sorry. So Gilbert and I have been doing this for a while, and I'm very disappointed in Gilbert for the first time and probably since I've known him. I thought Gilbert was going to shout out, "Are you scared of competing?" And that's why you didn't.
Are you afraid to compete? Hey, I didn't tell you. So I guess I posted another Caleb Williams video on my IG for IG Reel. And I guess my other video where somebody asked him, "Are you afraid to compete?" The first question off the bat in Indy at the combine, it was, I guess it's getting more pop now because he had his pro day. A couple people hit me up on my DM saying, "You're the worst journalist. Why would you ask that question? You're terrible." I'm like, what the hell did I do? It's like 50 saying, "What do you mean F me for? What are you talking about?" I didn't ask the question. I just I just posted it. I'm getting so fired up. But people are coming at me in the DMs like, I asked the question, "Are you afraid to compete?" Obviously, he's not afraid to compete. He won the freaking Heisman, but I get he's kind of a hot topic right now. What do you mean F me?
That is hilarious. I can't believe people actually came at you for that one. But I mean, what do you expect? I mean, you can't please them all, I guess. But that is freaking hilarious that people.
It's like when your boy, the referee overseas in Europe, when he screws over
Gil Manzano.
Real Madrid, like people think it's me. What do you mean F me for?
Exactly. People just come at Gilbert for no reason. I think that's hilarious, though. Or he asked if you kiss your mother with that mouth.
Sorry. I got fired up. Yeah.
But how do you feel about Caleb?
Well, I think he's a good quarterback. He's a good prospect. Like he's not tall, like we mentioned. Remember we saw him in person. You think he'd be a little taller. Like he's not like Kyler Murray or Bryce Young. He's not like under 6 feet. Like 6'1". And I think he made the comparison to Aaron Rodgers when I saw him at the pro day, not the pro day, the combine. I'm the same measurements as Aaron Rodgers. Okay, cool. You got that. You could say that. But he's bulky. He could take a hit. He's kind of like a massive dude. So when he was walking around, you could tell he has that weight to kind of take a couple hits. But he has a nice strong arm. You know, he could create away from the pocket. He's okay with playing with pressure and not being in structure. Like I kind of want to see him actually play in structure. Like he does too much backyard football, Fernando, and he gets in trouble doing that too much. That's kind of his knock. Like I think so, I forgot who was saying this, but like, can he play with rhythm and timing? Can he do that? Like, all the weapons that he has in Chicago. Like I know it's not like San Francisco or Brock Purdy, but the reason Brock Purdy is doing well, he has the timing there. He knows how to kind of get with the rhythm of the offense. Boom, Debo there. Boom, kid over here. CMC over here. Can you do that in a structure, or you're all about chaos and doing things on the fly? And when you're a young player, you could get in trouble. And remember Aaron Rodgers? He didn't play for the first 2 or 3 years, and then he had to wait, and then he was ready to go.
Gilbert, I feel like I failed you with not being able to get Lorenzo Neal.
Why?
But I don't know. I feel bad. But you know what? I got something for you.
Yeah. I was actually expecting like a video of him or something, but is that really you?
Y'all thought I was dead? Chiefs Queen.
No. Wait, we've done this before. We've done this before. Can you tell me what day it is, Dan, and what time?
I do not know the date. I don't know.
Okay, you're AI. You're fake. You're an AI.
Exactly. I'm a deep fake. Call me Kate Middleton. I'm supposedly alive, and here I am, dude. Look at this. What are we doing? You're gonna notice this is a shaved shirt from like a month ago. Dissect my hands and no freckles and everything else. It probably is a deep fake. Who knows?
I can't tell. Is it really him? But nice to see you, fake Dan and Dago.
Good to see you also. How are you doing? Look at that. Gilberto is speaking foul apparently on the show because he's saying things that warrant Jorge asking if you kiss your mother with that mouth, Gilberto.
And next time somebody comes at me in the DMs, Dan, can I get a video of you saying, I don't know, say something foul to them, and then I'll just send them that video of you.
What did they say? Someone said something?
Yeah, like, I don't know if you heard. Somebody said that I'm the idiot who asked that question to Caleb Williams. Are you afraid to compete? I'm like, it wasn't me. So next time people attack me, I want a video of you, cussing them out, and I'll just send that to them.
Obviously, a deep fake has had disappeared when he flinched. Or I thought you'd be hyped to see your boy.
Hey, but let me tell you something. You already know why people ask those questions, just to go viral, to get clicks, dude. And hey, it did awesome for our Instagram, so we appreciate that guy taking the fall for it.
What'd you think about the hip drop tackle?
Thank God you brought this up. It is
unbelievable.
It is unbelievable how Mickey Mouse this league is becoming. It's the most idiotic thing ever. Like, and the thing that bothers me, it's like, if you're trying to attract kids who are playing tic-tac-toe, like that's one thing. But like, this is ridiculous. Like, how is a defender seriously supposed to tackle the offensive players now? It's idiotic. They can't go high. They can't go low. Now what? They're just supposed to hope to God they'll run out of bounds and honor, Scouts code, Scouts honor. It's the stupidest thing ever. The league's becoming a joke. Like, in my opinion, again, hot take, but the past few Super Bowls have been a joke. It's been a mockery of the game because, we're just tipping the scale one way for idiotic reasons and people. So I'm not a fan of it. But let me tell you something. I saw something the other day that made me very excited.
What?
Supposedly Jim Harbaugh. Was it Jim Harbaugh? No, Andy Reid sat in between, I think, Harbaugh and John.
Oh, yeah. No. He was front and center in the picture.
Let me tell you something. Andy Reid's getting a little more white on his hairs, dude. He's nervous.
You're glitching too much, by the way, Dan. I think you might be a fake. A clone.
Dan, real
you
quick,
update your
what did
robot?
you-
Damn.
Am I
What did
actually
you make
glitching? I
of,
look fine to me. I look fine to me.
what did you make of this?
Better.
I've been talking to Justin every chance I get. Any reason I can, get the, call Justin, just check on it. How things are going on the ranch up in Oregon. I love hearing stories about that. I've been talking to Justin every chance I
Bro,
get.
I sent that. I sent that in our group chat. Am I still glitchy or do I look fine now?
No, you're
Much
fine.
better.
Okay.
You're the real Dan Diego.
I sent that in our group chat. I said if I had Herbert's number, I'd be telling him every day also to see how he's doing. That he needs to be protected. This is ridiculous. But you know what? We're gonna be A-okay because who's got it better than us? Freaking nobody, dude. It's about to get wild.
Did
you
your
know
brother
what's funny?
send the bat signal for Dan to come on the show? Is that how'd you get the word to jump on, Dan?
Bro, I'm here 24/7. I'm always ready to go. You're lucky I haven't crashed this thing yet. I just want to let the audience know. Do you know what this scumbag said last week in the chat? He's like, "Oh no, don't worry. Let's cut him at this week. No Dan and Dago this week."
Yeah.
So
I guess
he's
I
trying
did
to
owe
ice
you an
me out.
appearance. You're right. Okay, fine.
Impossible. I can never be stopped. I have big guy energy, dude. I'm an athlete. But yeah, when it comes to the hip drop tackle, like you're seriously going to tell me these refs are going to enforce it correctly? It's the most idiotic thing. You know what this reminds me of? You remember when they when they did the whole can't fall full weight on the quarterback?
Yeah.
It's going to cluster F
Flags.
just like that, dude. You watch.
Flags with friends. Just might as well call that
At this
league.
point, why not
Friends
just
with
make it
flags.
7-on-7? Is that what they want to move towards?
Dan, hold
7
on for a
7
second.
NFL?
You're kind of cutting in and out. Let me remove you and bring you back in. How is it now?
I don't know what it is. It might be the Wi-Fi. I have like 2 bars.
Oh,
Let me see.
well, you sound better right now.
Much
Well, here I am. Hurricane.
You know, Dan was in LA today to witness what happened. A police raid happened today, and Dan was there to
My
witness
God, what are
it.
you trying to do to me over here? What are you trying to do to me over here? I was nowhere at all with law enforcement. Don't you dare.
Dan, there's a new thing that just came out right now. Let's check this out. Let's see.
Gone through all his tape, all his throws. He can make them all. But getting to know him, just how much it's about the team and about winning. How much he puts into it, how much he cares about it. There's that part of him that he wants it to be about the team. Just being able to to make that step,
Big
to
facts,
winning.
Kevin. Big facts, Jorge.
I know that's why he's in it. So exciting. Yeah.
He looks he's like exciting, but he's kind of like
people really have no idea what's about to happen. Like everyone's about to get put on notice. I was telling this to someone the other day. Like I already made a bet. Chargers are going to make the playoffs without a doubt as a wild card or winning the division. Who knows?
Not even April, Dan. Come on. Can you
Buddy,
at least wait to see the draft?
Buddy, it doesn't matter. We have Jim Harbaugh in the Senate vote, and we're going to be okay. Then on top of that, we have like a last place record or whatever else, or a last place schedule. I saw the teams that were playing. If we don't win more than 10 games, we should all just retire the franchise. It's over.
Jorge says, did you guys see the annual coaches photo? Harbaugh was sitting next to Reed. I think the mental warfare has begun.
Exactly.
He was
it's
right in the middle of the
season, baby.
Gilbert, he was right in the middle of that picture, though.
Was.
You know what he said?
That's a lot of respect right there.
He said, "Hey, Big Red, you're in my chair, son. Get out of here." That's right. The son of Odin, dude. He's about to sling that
They got
thing.
the Super Bowl champion coach and the college football coach. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Right in the front and center.
Oh, well, when you get handed things, it's,
Yeah.
they just put you wherever. You just do whatever
Try
you
winning
want.
try winning a natty. How difficult is that? Huh?
And what do you think about a couple, like your music is hit a couple of times and Gilbert gets all nervous. He gets all twitchy.
But you see what I'm saying? It's just that's what I do to people. It is what it is. They can't handle me. I'm too much. You know what I'm saying? They can't handle the enthusiasm, the energy, the tenacity. That's what happens when you're great. And I feel like Kobe sometimes when I come on. I've seen the way you work. You think I'm gonna pass you the ball? Psych! I have high energy at all times, dude. I'm ready to go at all times.
I am afraid to compete with you.
Exactly. Boom, boom, boom. Double
There you
dribble. No, that's a foul. Never mind. I don't even watch basketball anymore. It is what it
Dan,
is.
Dan, who's this?
Shador. Oh, actually, yeah, let's talk about Shador in his comments.
Do you enter this season with more motivation, or is it about the same? Or because you could maybe see the light at the end of your college career tunnel, does it, drive you even more to go be the number one overall pick?
No, I've been seeing the light since day one, since I've been in college overall. Since when I got to the platform, and I came from a private school, so at the end of the day, I dealt with a lot of negativity, a lot of hate, a lot of everything I done dealt with already year after year. I came from a small private school. All the other kids was going big, Power 5, and they went to big 6A, Texas 6A schools and stuff. I don't see those same kids around.
Oh, wow.
It's
Throwing
going
shots while he's at it.
Going to a private school a good thing in high school? I don't.
I guess. Well, he said a small private school, so who knows?
Oh.
But going back to that, right, when he was talking about in that video, by the way, I thought it was hilarious because Dion even goes talking about Travis and Shador.
Oh, yeah.
Then he goes, "Don't forget about Shiloh now." It's like,
That's what I said. Yeah,
Shiloh,
and
Shiloh's
Shiloh.
falling back there. Shiloh. But like,
He has no say.
in all honesty, I think I think a lot of it depends on this year and what Colorado does. But like Shador as a first rounder to me, or a top 4, would be tough in my opinion, just because it's not like he's coming from a big time football school. You know what I mean? Like the Buffs are still on the recovery. Like the hardest team, I don't even know who's the hardest team they played. Maybe USC, Oregon. And it's like, that's not super prime time.
Changing, but
well, yeah, and that's the other thing. But it's like, what's going to happen. You remember a few years ago when Lamar got drafted and Dion was interviewing him on stage, and he's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, to Ossie Newsome, right? That's the GM at the time.
Yep,
I don't think he's okay. Yeah, it's like Ossie Newsome. I appreciate you, dog, or something like that. So maybe he's gonna call in a favor to somebody. Just say, "See, I told you my boy's top 4. I told you my boy's top 4." But I don't really see, honestly.
Dan, let me ask you: if you're Miami, would you rather draft Shador, or would you rather?
Give me Shador, dude. I would rather take Shador. But the thing that people don't understand also is like, you get Shador, you get Dion. And I think that's going to be a huge problem that people are not looking at right now.
Why? He's going to be busy coaching the Buffaloes. Why would
that's what you think? That's what you think, because supposedly, he's coached them their whole life, from the youth to the high school to the college. You think he's going to let someone else maybe trust him in the NFL? I don't know. You know what I mean? I think if someone's stupid enough to sign him as the head coach, that's right. Shador.
Hey, Jorge, everybody liked the way Dan pronounced his name at Radio Road too. Yeah. He kept on saying it and people were laughing. Hey, you saw him too. Remember, he was walking by.
Oh yeah, he was walking by. But that's my thing. Like, I don't think they understand really how big of a...
You know what pissed off Dan is that he was showing off his bling and his shoes and his wardrobe.
So stupid, dude. But that's the problem. That's the problem. The guy already thinks he's arrived, and I understand. Like, it's not very. It's like, I think this is my thing, right? Just so I can break down. I think it's a lot different from Dion coming where he came from, thinking he's the best. Acting like he's the best, thinking like he's a dog, because that was a chip on his shoulder. That was like a persona he had to, put on to carry him that far with no, like it wasn't, I'm sure it wasn't an easy road for Dion to get to the NFL and everything else. Now on the flip side, you're seeing Shador, who, has a household name, obviously has a lot of ability to get train. Get out of here. has the ability to get the trainers, has the ability to go to the right schools and everything else, has the ability, because he's well known because of his last name, to get recruited. Like, I don't think that plays the same way, if you know what I mean. Like, it's different for Dion being hungry, thinking he's arrived, to Shador having everything and thinking he's arrived. You know what I mean? It's like they say about fighters. A fighter can think he's the best and still wake up every single morning at 5 a.m. But once he's laying in bed in silk sheets and he's made it, that's when it gets a lot harder. So I think that's what you're going to see with Shador a little bit more.
Or in Roadhouse. Or find himself acting in Roadhouse.
Get out of here.
Have you guys seen it yet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
of
did.
course we did. It
We'll
was
talk,
all
we'll
right.
talk about it Tuesday. We'll talk about it Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
But
goes
like
Cat.
it's a lot different. You know what I mean? Like being hungry and getting to it as a you have to do it to help out your family and everything else, to kind of doing it as a side hobby. Because I mean, for God's sake, he's taking meat and skipping meetings to go to Fashion Week. That doesn't tell me he's bought in too much.
Dan, we are gonna have to let you go. We appreciate you jumping on. Let me ask you real quick though. Jorge wants to see. So Lorenzo had a family emergency he had to attend to, so he's gonna be jumping on tomorrow. Jorge would like you to join us when we do that. Are you okay? Or would you want to do that?
I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not the question asker. I'll
Hey,
bring on the energy.
You and Lorenzo have a bromance.
Oh, well, that's my dog, dude. Like, I remember growing up watching that guy. That guy was a freaking dog. And plus, Raul, tell the audience the truth. What's up, Danny? Tell the audience the truth. Gilberto sent you a text message behind.
What?
Said, get this some bitch out of here. Get this some bitch out of here. Well, let me tell you something, Gilberto. Just like Chief Queendom! Chief Queendom!
Have you washed the shirt yet? You've been wearing it every day, Dan. Hopefully you washed it at least.
Bro,
once.
this is AI. It doesn't even matter. Do you understand? I'm not even real. Fernando's telling me what to say through a typing thing.
You're a persona, but I tried giving out your real name and your brother got mad at me, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, no real names. No real names. By the way, yeah, of course I had time today. I got a new job coaching, so it's been a little change.
By the
never
way,
told
just
me
wanted to
this.
say proud of you for that one. You're
What
really
the hell?
moving on up.
I know, dude. It's something new, but you know what it is? It is
You
what it is.
gotta-
At an
You gotta
undisclosed high
text
school?
me I was gonna say, so different high school,
Yeah, at an undisclosed high school. Yeah.
different position.
Could you imagine me dealing with skill players? I'd be arrested. I'd be arrested.
Oh, I
I'd
thought you
wanna
were going
choke
somewhere
them
else.
out.
Like, why are you asking me this weird question?
No,
But
no,
okay,
no,
okay.
no. Of course, I only deal with the hogs, dude. I hate
But
a skill player would be a nightmare, dude.
different high school.
Different high school.
This
So
is big. I'm surprised you
yeah, I
haven't told
know.
me. Okay, all right.
You know how
I'll
it goes,
text you.
bro. You know how it goes, bro. We're all grinding. It was so funny. Like,
All right.
it was sad with my coaching buddies.
Yeah.
It was tough, but we still love each other. Maybe. I don't know.
Congrats, Dan. Though, clap it up.
I
for
know.
Dan.
Shout out, dude. Shout out.
Yeah,
Anyway, all right. I'm getting booted. Everyone get in the chat and tell Gilberto how big of a scumbag he is.
New coach, long
Here.
snapper coach at undisclosed high school, Dan and
Long
Diego.
snapper. Let me tell you something about. I'm trying kids show. Yeah. So today was the first lifting session that I went to. So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. We'll see what happens.
New minds to mold. Give him the bull.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna meet with all the linemen after spring break with some pizza.
All right, there you go.
It's gonna be awesome.
Congrats.
Jorge, I don't even like what that means. Don't even show that comment.
Oh
He's not a flower. He's not a flower. My God. All right. See you later, gents.
Get the hell
All
out
right,
of my show.
later. That is Dan and Diego. Jorge, that was for you. Oh, he said what?
He said it. Get the hell out of my show.
Get the hell out of
You
my
see
show.
the type of horse I have to deal with?
Get off my set already.
Absolute manure.
Get out.
Manure.
Get out.
Oh my
Oh,
god. Yeah, no. So I saw him from the corner of my eye, and I texted him, "Hey, do you wanna jump on?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I'll give Gilberto some bullshit to go on." So he jumped on real quick.
Did you guys just talk through your like eye motion?
No. I
You know.
texted him. I texted him
okay.
in one of those. So yeah. But we go from one compa to another. We now have Vic, the producer. Vic, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Chilling,
Not
chilling.
too bad. I was doing well until Dan and Diego showed up. We're hanging in there.
He crashed the party. It's
Blow it out of your ass.
Who gave him control of the freaking show here?
Well, he does all of our editing, so obviously he had to do all that. So, well, when it comes to the videos, but social media, but yeah, no. So now we have Vic, the producer, for a little rapid fire. So let's get it going, Vic.
all right. Well, Fernando won last week, so who's gonna go first, guys? Who wants to go first as I start to ask the questions?
It makes sense. I'll go first.
All
Have
right.
you read the questions? Have you prepared, Fernando?
I was reading it right now, actually.
Okay, yeah.
All right, here we go, guys.
Oh, that's how I prepared for college. That's how I graduated college. We're all good. And my master's program.
Oh,
No,
okay.
actually, my master's program actually grinded. You remember, you saw me, Gilbert. So
I did.
We've
but
all
yeah,
done that, Fernando. So here we go. NFL
Yeah.
free agency has slowed down, and the attention has now turned to the NFL draft in Detroit next month. It makes sense for the Bears to go with the quarterback at number 1 with all the weapons they have on their current roster. But is it fair or foul to question what the Commanders or Patriots would be doing by taking a quarterback with when you look at their O-line and their lack of skill players?
So I think the reason why a lot of this happens is people get impatient and they look at the fancy toys. And that's kind of what the problem has been right now with when you talk about, like, let's just pick a team like the Chargers where everybody's like, well, they could go receiver at 5, and everybody's mad because they're thinking about going for, or people think that they might go for an offensive tackle. Well, sometimes you have luxuries, but you need to fix the holes that you have on your team. So that's why I think that the Commanders are positioned a little bit better than the Patriots. With the Patriots, man, I would fill out the rest of that team and then try and get myself a quarterback. Sometimes when you put the cart before the horse, stuff goes bad. I mean, if you think about it, like when some guys have come out, like a Justin Herbert, that's why he excelled so quickly, was because there were weapons around him already. Like they already had some pieces around him. And when you look at other guys who have come out, I mean, it's taken them some time. I mean, Joe Burrow, I mean, I know he played well his first year, but it took him some time until they got Jamar Chase. And now they're trying to fix the offensive line around him. And that's kind of a struggle. That's why they lost that Super Bowl, because if they would have had better offensive line play, they would have been able to maybe end up winning that Super Bowl. But it's just of what your team believes in. And I mean, we've talked about it, Gilbert. Eric and I talked about it on the way home from USC. These decisions that the Bears, the Commanders, and the Patriots have will win, or it'll keep your job or extend your job, or it'll get you fired. Even the Cardinals also, like, are you going to trade down, or are you going to wait and take Marvin Harrison Jr.? The Cardinals have a lot of holes too, and they need to keep Kyler Murray upright. I mean, that's going to be the question mark too. Can you go 2 for 1, get the 11th and the 23rd from the Minnesota Vikings so that they can get JJ McCarthy? So at the end of the day, I think it's actually fair to question the Commanders and the Patriots because they have needs elsewhere. Why are you going to put a quarterback in there if your offensive line isn't good? Just take a beating. We've seen that happen before way too many times. Why let it happen again? So I would question it if I was them, to be completely honest.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find a way to give you a direct answer, but I think it's all about situations, and
situations are situational.
Yes, they're all different. But to give you a real answer, like Fernando, I guess I'll go the opposite way. When you got to get a quarterback, and the biggest priority you got to get on your roster, it's a quarterback, and you don't want to get in trouble and reach. But like, these are top 3 picks. Like, when are you gonna, like, you're pretty much saying, oh, we're gonna be in the top 3 next year. Like, you're saying you're gonna lose next year and lose the year after that. Like, you don't want to be in this spot. Like, you never know when you don't want to be caught like the Vikings and be with Kirk Cousins every year, 8-9, 9-8. Like, always in the middle. You got to find a quarterback. So I think these teams need to get there, but they kind of give you more off of that. So that's my answer. You got to go with the quarterback. But the Commanders, who the hell do they have? They just traded Sam Howell. You have the number 2 pick. You're not number 3. I think number 2, you're fine. Obviously it's gonna be Caleb Williams. I think Drake May is gonna be a big time prospect. I think it's gonna be all Drake May, I feel like. But look at the Patriots. Now you're going with the 3rd quarterback. How many times have we see a star quarterback after 1 or 2 become the 3rd quarterback? It's rare when there's a number 3 quarterback that becomes a star. Sometimes it goes from, like, obviously 2020. Justin Herbert was number 3 quarterback, right? 2 was number 2, and then number 1 was Joe Burrow. So maybe the team ahead of you could pick poorly, but the Patriots are in a weird position because they also need wide receivers, and you want to get Marvin Harrison Jr., or you're being offered 3 first-round picks to back off. So I think with the Patriots, like, you got to think about it, but they need a quarterback. What the hell do you do? Jacoby Brissett, throw it to Marvin Harrison Jr. for the next few years? When are you going to find the quarterback? That's what I don't like. Like, Fernando, here's to your point. Like when the Bengals got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I'd rather have that and then go sign linemen. I get it. Linemen are better when you get them younger, but I'd rather have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I'll get Orlando Brown Jr. I'll pay that guy. I'll pay whoever. I'll figure it out later. You want to get a quarterback, and that's where I end my point.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of hard just to actually know where these two teams are wanting to go. Like, because the Commanders went out and spent a bunch in free agency, but their offensive line isn't great. And then you look at the Patriots, and so if you're drafting quarterbacks, are you going to sit them? If you're planning to sit them their first year, it makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, you have to, I'm big on rookie contracts. If you're going to, especially when it comes to your quarterback, if you're going to do that, then you do it. So I'm giving the point here to Fernando because he made the best point with what he said. And then a couple of people on the comments also agree with that. So because of that, Gilbert, I'm giving it to Fernando.
I don't know. I don't even think Fernando can name the quarterback right now, the starter of the Commanders, but whatever. But let's pass on the quarterback, whatever.
All right, Gilbert.
Well, I mean, like, if we're
Honestly,
being honest,
I don't even know who it is after they trade Sam Howell. Who the hell is it?
I agree with what Vic is saying, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Caleb is the only one that could start right now. I think everybody else is kind of like,
I don't know, Fran.
I don't
The more
know,
I think
like-
about it, when this guy, like I told you, his backyard style, he needs to wait a little bit, but whatever.
no, I agree too. But I think with those weapons, they're not going to let him.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
why
gonna let him just keep on going. So, and that's what makes me freaking Jorge. Hey, I wasn't being put on the spot. Vic is the one asking the
You
question.
know what?
Not
Let me
Gilbert.
look it up right now. 'Cause I honestly don't
Gilbert
even
wasn't
know
the one
either.
asking or Vic is the one asking the question, not Gilbert. But I agree with you actually about that whole backyard style. But I don't think they're gonna.
Oh,
let
it's
him do
Marcus
that.
Mariota. I forgot. Sorry.
Oh damn! Oh dude, he looked like he aged a crap ton the other day when I saw him.
Yeah, gray hair.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think that they should all sit. But the one that really keeps on gaining a lot of momentum is JJ McCarthy. And then when you have Jim Harbaugh talking about him, like there's somebody's gonna fall for.
I don't know. I
for
see those
that.
throws. People are falling in love, and I think about Zach Wilson. But
I
whatever.
was just gonna say,
Man had no
thing.
punter.
Yeah. Well, we'll
He's
see
gonna be
what
a
happens
Ram.
with that. All right, guys. Number 2 here. We've all seen how out of control the gambling scandal going on with Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter has gotten this week. He even talked today, had a statement and everything. So the NFL has had to suspend players for gambling the past 2 years, but it hasn't involved any of their top players. If Patrick Mahomes was in the same situation as Ohtani, would this be a bigger deal? And should the NFL be keeping a close eye on this Ohtani case?
I go first, right? Yes, for sure. If Patrick Mahomes is part of this, where he doesn't speak English, and what is he speaking for now? Spanish, I guess, and he hasn't.
Bing chilling. Bing chilling.
I don't know what the hell you're saying. Chinese, Japanese, or Mandarin. Sorry, Mandarin.
Chinese or
Okay,
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Get
That's
it
what
right.
John Cena said that got him in trouble. Or no, well, that's something that John Cena said. He's talking about ice cream. That's
Okay,
ice cream.
don't get yourself in
I
trouble.
like ice
but,
cream.
yes,
No,
it'll be massive news, but it's kind of a weird thing because you don't know if Shohei's a part of it. Same thing will be with say it's a Mahomes or LeBron. Like, hey, like I'm close to that guy, but I'm not a part of it. So I don't know. And the more I think about, like, I don't know, like, why do you give this guy so much trust too? It's a little fishy. Yeah, get it right, Fernando. But I don't know. But with Shohei Ohtani being part of this, it's a bad look. And I know, Victor, you know as well. This guy does not want to be part of the spotlight. Doesn't want to be part of the negative news like that. He's probably hating it right now. I think he spoke today or about to speak today. I don't know.
No, he already did.
Okay, so to be connected
No
with this,
cameras were allowed. No questions were allowed.
I want to say Shohei
Guilty.
did not. I want to say Shohei like knows nothing because you just hired a guy to help you out to like translate. But like then I'm reading stories that these guys were best friends. They were they're actually hitting it off. I don't know. It could be something shady, but also just kind of knowing the guy. Maybe he's secretive for a reason, or maybe he's secretive because he's not into stuff like that. I don't know. But to answer the question, it would be a lot of 24/7 coverage if that was in the NFL with a star quarterback.
All of a sudden, he's doing more media. All of a sudden, his girlfriend appears. All of a sudden, he was doing all kinds of stuff.
Those damn Dodgers, huh?
I'm telling you. Did you see whose locker he has?
I did not.
our compa Dylan Hernandez tweeted out that he has Julio Urias' old locker.
That's bad luck already.
No, there's no way I can. There's no way I can counter what Gilbert said, just because we've seen already the NFL's cracked down on all these guys. The NBA actually just suspended, or they're investigating Raptors center Jonte Porter. According to Woj, Toronto center Jonte Porter is out of the lineup and a subject of an NBA investigation into irregularities on prop betting
Can you read English?
involving him. Yeah, okay. Let's freaking put a freaking mouth buster on you. Oh god.
Okay, can we stop?
A tongue twister. There you go. A tongue twister. And let's see if you don't.
It is March Madness. You got to say bracket buster, but okay.
Well, yeah, but every other league is cracking down. So I'm going to be interested to see this Shohei Ohtani thing. I'm telling you, I just don't know. I mean, I've seen it before. I mean, you've seen agents and other people handle the money of athletes, but a guy like Shohei, it's just hard for me to believe that
translator. Come on, Shohei.
Exactly, a translator, like not even an accountant or this or that. And then like all this money, like some guy on Twitter the other day was like, he's like, oh, I've been in banking. 4.5 million is hard to, like, without the knowledge of somebody knowing, there's no way you can do a wire transfer or something like that. I was just like, oh, wow. So, yeah, I don't know. I know he's a big star, but I mean, another big star was Fernando Tatis Jr. and everybody like crapped all over him. So I think and I mean, it's obviously different and everything, but it's just going to be interesting to see if this is the next pillar to fall when it comes to a face of baseball kind of going down a little bit. But I don't know. I think they should investigate it hardcore and see what they come out of this, because that was just really everything just seems really shady when it comes to this whole betting thing. But I think we're only scratching the surface, to be honest. I think not just with Ohtani, I'm talking about in general, in sports in general. I think more and more stuff is starting to come out. I mean, yeah, we saw some, let's just be honest, lower tier players kind of do it. Well, now is when Ohtani could be the ringleader of wildfire between bigger name stars. So I'm just saying it could get even.
I want to see Ohtani wearing a Calvin Ridley jersey on opening day. How about that?
No, he should wear a Compas on the beat.
Sure, that too.
Vic is a huge fan of his. There you go. Do it for us. Do it for Vic. All right, go ahead. My bad.
I'm giving this point to Gilbert. He's right. I mean, I think part of the problem too, guys, is that, you know, we're in the wild, wild west right now when it comes to gambling. You know, the owners in every sport decided, hey, we're going to dip our toes into gambling. And now you're going to start seeing, like, and I think part of the reason why the NFL needs to keep a close eye on it is because if it happens to someone like Patrick Mahomes, like one of their big stars, this could implode on them and make them look like, especially here in the United States, it's a bigger deal because Ohtani is a global player. And so I think that's why it's going to become a bigger deal. This isn't over, even with the statement that he just put out. I think, you know, you're still going to hear from it. I think the reason he put it out now is because he just wants to play. And then whenever he gets asked, now he's just going to say, hey, my lawyers are taking care of it. So it's just something to kind of keep an eye on if you're the NFL, because if it's one of your big stars, it's going to be a bigger story. And then right now, I think all the sports leagues need to be in line with this stuff, because you need to come out with you know, kind of like what the NFL did by suspending Calvin Ridley for a year. Like, you know, we'll see what happens with this investigation, because we'll see whether or not MLB decides to suspend him or fine him. But it'll.
You know what I'm more interested. You know what I'm more interested in, real quick, is how this is all like if the leagues are going to be working together on all this. Yes. Because that's gonna, if they can all join up and kind of do it like an Avengers of NFL league or the sporting leagues, it's gonna be interesting to see if they join up together what they're gonna find. Because like I said, if Ohtani's found guilty, like they're just gonna keep on, coming at him. But I want to see what the rest of the MLB like stadiums are gonna be like for Shohei when he goes to other stadiums. I wonder if they're gonna, players or opposing teams are gonna give him crap for
they
it.
will.
But
they'll find a way.
Yeah, like I wrote, I mean, the Dodgers should just go out all heel, man. Like just you know, this is what it's gonna turn into, because they're gonna be the number one team right now that everybody's gonna hate on. So you might as well, you know, become the heel. All right, guys. Third question, tied up 1-1. The Titans and Colts have gone about free agency in two different ways this year. Colts have decided to retain most of their free agents, while the Titans have decided to outspend every team to fill most of their roster needs. Which way will prove to be the right way of doing things this offseason?
I think it's you, Fernando.
It's me. I'm gonna go with the Colts. Why? Because the Colts were one drive away from being able to make the playoffs, and the Titans just is the mayonnaise eating, peel eating, mayonnaise and coffee drinking, banana peel eating son of a gun Will Levis, is he gonna be the starting quarterback? Also, DeAndre Hopkins, does he still want to be there, or will he at one point be like, you know what, I want to go win a ring before this is all said and done? No more Derrick Henry, so you're not going to be able to depend on Derrick Henry being able to carry the team. I was going to say the load, carrying the offense. There's some question marks about the defense, so I don't really believe in what the Titans are doing now. On the Colts side, there's no more Gardner Minshew, so it's going to be Anthony Richardson. Now, is he going to be healthy? Is he going to change his style? That's what I'm interested in seeing. But just overall, I like what the Colts have. Kenny Moore, they got re-signed. They have some pieces there. I really feel like they're really close. They just need Anthony Richardson to really kind of take off. I still think they need an offensive weapon or two. And with some other pieces, I think they'd be a playoff team. But obviously we know the AFC is freaking loaded with talent all over the place. So that's going to be interesting. But if I had to choose one of the two models, I would go with paying my own, because the Colts have drafted really well. And now they have Shane Steichen in there, who I thought he did a heck of a job his first season. After obviously being a top 5 team in the draft last year, they did a lot better, and they were close to beating CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans and knocking them out of being able to go to the playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Colts model over the Titans.
Yeah, I like the Colts model as well, but I feel like the Colts are not, like, they still need a lot of areas. Like, they still need another playmaker, but they re-signed Michael Pittman Jr. He probably would have been maybe second or third best wide receiver if all of them went to free agency. Mike Evans got re-signed. So what are you gonna do? Go sign Marquise Brown? There you go. Sorry. So they got that, and they got a lot of defensive players back too. They need another edge rusher, I feel like. But again, what are you gonna do? Get Jadeveon Clowney? You're gonna take a chance on Bryce Huff and Jonathan Grenard? Pay them a bunch of money for being a rotational guy last year. So they were smart. They have a path. They have a plan. Keep building through the draft. Now with the Tennessee Titans, like, I want to like their team. They got them better for sure, but it's like you invested a lot of money on a team you've never put together. You invested a lot of money on players with a rookie head coach and Brian Callahan. And by the way, a lot of people love Brian Callahan. Like, he was due to be an offensive, genius. He finally got his shot, but like, you paid Calvin Ridley, you traded for Jerry Sneed, you paid for Tony Pollard, you paid for the center, Lloyd Cushenberry. So they loaded up on a lot of pieces. I get it. They need a lot of, players for a roster filled with holes. They don't have that many holes, but like, you look at the roster, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it could be a wildcard team. But then again, as Victor always says, don't fall into the trap of having the same teams in the NFL playoffs every year. So they could be that team, but like, when you spend so much in free agency, you get really aggressive. It's just a recipe for disaster. Like, what if it doesn't work out? You can't get out of these contracts for maybe a couple of years, so you're kind of screwed over there. But I like the L'Jarius Sneed trade. You got him for a third round pick, but you had to commit $70-80 million to the guy who might have been a product of the system. He might have been a guy who benefited from a very loaded defense. You don't know, but I get it. They needed to be more aggressive, but not that aggressive. That's why I didn't like the Titans. I wanted to say they were a winner is off season, but they went too far, and I didn't like it at the end.
It's interesting, real quick. The Jerry Sneed felt like it came to the Titans and the Colts, down to those two teams to see who got him. And
I would have liked it more with the Colts, actually.
I thought it would have been better. Bradley, I think Gus Bradley would have been able to use him in an interesting way. I mean, we've seen how many cornerbacks have emerged. Kenny Moore's emerged. Casey Hayward a couple of years ago with the Chargers. So I agree with you. I would have liked them better on the Colts just because of their dynamic and the way their defense is built. But I agree with what you're saying.
Because both of you guys went for the same team here or the same point, I'm gonna both give you guys a point here. But let me just give you guys a little bit of information here. So Chris Ballard has been with the Colts now for a number of years. He kind of reminds me of Tom Telesco in the way he does things. He, for whatever reason, he's one of those guys that won't get fired just because either the owner just trusts him or the team is too cheap. So one of the
Owner
reporters,
can't make decisions.
yeah, the one of the reporters for
He's
the
in the
Colts.
bathroom.
That's why, right?
Yeah.
He found out that Chris Ballard, when he signs players, he usually ends up cutting them. They don't end up making the roster. So maybe he's not really good at picking up free agents. So he's just re-signing his own guys. Now, where I'll give the Titans here a little bit of credit, and if you look at the AFC South the last 2 years, the last place team has gone on to win the division. The Jaguars the year before, and now the Houston Texans. So one of the reasons I kind of like what the Titans have done is because at least they've gone out and spent and try to help out Will Levis. I don't see the same thing with Anthony Richardson. The thing is too with Anthony Richardson, out of the 4 games he played, he only finished 1 game. So the jury is still out
Good boy.
on
That's my
Cole
guy.
on Richardson. So I'll give you guys both the point here, but I would have gone with the Titans here just because at least they're being aggressive and they're trying to do something rather than just relying on the draft. And the draft is the way to go. I'm not, but that's the other thing. Like at least try and be aggressive for someone like Anthony Richardson. And who do you have now as a backup? Joe Flacco. Are you expecting
yeah.
Joe Flacco to be that guy again?
Yeah.
That's the other problem. So just something to keep an eye on there. All right, guys, still tied up at 1. Here we go. Which proposal? I know you guys were talking about it, so I kind of wanted to throw this out there as well. Which proposal being voted on by the NFL owners will have the biggest impact next season if it passed? We know one of them already passed, and that's the hip drop tackle. But what about the new kickoff rule? Which one will have the bigger impact next season for you guys? And I think Fernando starts this one off.
No, it was
It's
Gilbert.
me,
I think
but I'll keep it short. I'm sure we're
it's
gonna have the same.
me.
It's gonna yeah. Hello. We're gonna have probably the same answer, but it's obviously like it's not the question who's gonna have the best impact or the worst, and like it's an impact, and it's gonna be for sure. The hip drop tackle is gonna be probably for the worst, for the negative, or we could be very surprised and it's for the best. And player injuries are down, players figure it out. But I don't know. When I saw the NFLPA saying we are against this, and I'm like again, the one that I want to see keep getting passed or it keeps getting denied is the 4th and 20 instead of the onside kick. They keep saying let's try that one next time. Why can't we do that with the hip drop tackle? Until you get people on board, like we should make a rule where like okay, if the NFLPA says no, and the owners can't agree, but again, it's more control for the owners, like or at least something where like they vote for the NFL, the players get the vote, and maybe like over 80% of the players say no, then you got to hold off on it. It just the players were doing the tackling and they just rushed this for some reason in which I can't really figure out. Is it because the owners are trying to they're scared that the league won't last for 30-40 years? Maybe the moms and the dads are saying you're going to go play baseball because I don't want you to get a concussion and it's kind of ruining the youth sports. I don't know. There's something where they're freaking out and panicking where they want to change this. I don't know if it's all about player healthy. I really don't think that's what it is. But there's something going on there where they're really trying to rush this. And I'm like, why are we rushing here when the players are confused about, okay, if you don't want to do this, I'm sure that nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to see injuries. But why hasn't been a proposed, can you try this? Can you do something different? Can we at least try it out in the preseason and then we'll go from there next year? But no, they want to rush it. So it's going to make a big impact for the negative way.
Adam Driver from Star Wars. More. They want more points. They want the offenses.
That could be it. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. But you remember who was the safety from the Detroit Lions that hit Tyler Higbee?
Kirby Joseph.
Yeah, that you're going to see a lot more of that.
He injured Higbee and Hawkinson back-to-back weeks.
There you go. That's going to happen a lot more. So congratulations, NFL. That's what you've asked for. It. That's what's going to end up happening. Remember, when people start, like people have said, I remember Eric Weddle told me one time that players would be like, "Hey, hit me in the head. Don't hit me in the legs. Like I'd rather take the hit in the head because my legs, I can still come out the next week. A concussion, I probably miss one or two games. So And it wasn't just Weddle; it was other players that would say that offensive players would tell him the same thing. But that's exactly what you're doing here. You're gonna have more like I remember last year, Derwin James. How many penalties didn't he get? Or the last 2 years? And he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, especially when guys lower their head. So now the hip tackle thing's gonna happen. Like we said earlier, there are small corners in here who sometimes go up against tight end. Like if Sauce Gardner is going up against Travis Kelce, what is he supposed to do? Just like basically hold him and wait for somebody to get there to tackle him. Like it's going to be interesting, but I'll go to the other side of this. I guess I just needed to rant a little bit on that. Which will have the biggest impact? I think the new kickoff rule will have a huge impact just because I think we're going to see more explosive plays. I think there's going to be an emphasis on the return game. I mean, obviously we have guys like Jamal Agnew. Darius Davis was a guy last year for the Chargers who kind of emerged as a little electric weapon. There's other guys who I think have a chance, and now you might have a better chance of being able to return some of these plays. So I think that's going to have a huge impact. I think it's going to look interesting Thursday night in Kansas City. I know we're going to see it in preseason or whatever, but I want to see. I mean, if it obviously if it goes through or whatever. But I'd be interested to see Thursday night in Kansas City, the first time they do it. I'd be interested to see what happens there and who's the team that they're facing. But I definitely think that the kickoff rule will have a huge impact next year in the way some of this stuff is run.
I was going to give you the point, Fernando, because I really like what you had to say about the hip drop, but you changed it. And so I'm going to give it to Gilbert because I think the hip drop is going to have an effect because of what you said, Fernando. I think, you're going to see more ACL nails being, you're going to blown out because people are going to go low now and they're going to go after the knees and you're going to see guys getting flipped over a lot more. And I think that's going to have a bigger impact than the kickoff. The kickoff is going to be exciting and we're going to see a lot more stuff going on with that. But I think in terms of on the field, I think you're going to see a lot more injuries and that's going to be more of an impact because we've been saying it. They don't want guys to get hit on the head. So now you're eliminating the hip drop. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to go low with the helmet, and you're going to see a lot of dudes, blowing out ACLs and Achilles and stuff like that. So, but I'm going to give the point there because you changed it. I'll give it to Gilbert there. All right, next one, guys. We're going to go over to Combat Sports. Was that Dana White right to quickly release a fighter who bit an opponent this past weekend? Igor Severino bites Andre Lima.
It's you, right? I forgot.
Yeah. I'm going to say it was too quick.
Wow. Okay.
I think that would have made an interesting second fight. I think if the guy could have gotten his revenge, that would have been a little bit more interesting. Look, guys have done it before. Luis Suarez from right now he's with Inter Miami. He's already retired. He's playing at Inter Miami. But he played for Liverpool. I remember in the World Cup in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, down in Brazil, he bit. Well, actually, when he was with Liverpool, he bit a guy one time, and then he bit another one when they were down in the World Cup, and he got suspended for a while. Mike Tyson bit a dude's ear off. I mean, you remember some of that stuff. So, yeah, I might have just waited and seen. I mean, if the jackass does it again, obviously, yeah, I would have suspended him. But he was obviously it was his first loss in his MMA career, and he came out from Dana White's Contender Series. But obviously, he felt like he needed to do this. I might have waited and chilled on it a little bit and seen what happened next. But I guess Dana's zero tolerance on that kind of stuff. But I might have waited a little bit just to see if you could have milked that a little bit more.
Yeah, I like it. I get it that if it's Conor McGregor or Sean O'Malley or whatever, Izzy Adesanya, anybody who's a star power and they bite somebody, you're not gonna cut them. I get it, but it's a good way to kind of just set the tone and the standard. Like, we're not gonna mess around with this crap here. Like, who are you, by the way, Igor, or whatever you want to call yourself? You're a nobody. You went too far. You can't do that here. And also, like the UFC, it's not like unboxing. You can go to PBC, to Golden Boy, to Top Rank, whatever. It's all UFC. They have the power, so why not use it? Set the tone for anybody coming up and the Dana White's Contender Series or whatever, Ultimate Fighter. Like, if you're a new guy trying to make it, don't do that crap. Don't do the low blows and the biting, or the headbutts, whatever, or hitting somebody when they're down and they're facing the other way. Like, just set the tone and the standard. I liked it when I saw him. Like, oh, quick, okay, I like it, Dana White. So for me, be the ruler and the dictator that you are, Dana White.
Freaking
Yeah,
Gilbert George about to get knocked down, and it's gonna be Igor. What did you say
Yeah,
about
just
me?
don't bite me, apparently, but whatever.
I'm giving the point to Fernando. He's right. I mean, look, the opponent even got an extra. He gave him some extra money as well for getting bid, which I understand as well. But I'm with Fernando. At least let him. I want to see a rematch now. Like, now he's gone, and
No, we
we're not
don't.
gonna-
Nobody knows who the hell these guys are. Come on.
All right, guys. All right, last one, just to kind of break the tie here. I was gonna go with the UFL question here, but I'm gonna switch it up just because I wanna get a wrestling question in here. So we saw that Aaron Donald retired last week, and I saw that the WWE is doing a new show or documentary or docuseries where they're gonna show a lot of these people who are trying to try out, right, for WWE and trying to find the next WWE superstar. And so, we've seen a lot of NFL players be, like Roman Reigns, former guys who made it to WWE and became superstars. So is there not just an NFL player, but is there a just professional guy, whether he's retired already or someone who is still active, that you would love to see become a pro wrestler in WWE or maybe even in AEW?
That's you.
I was gonna say, go ahead, friend. I don't know. Victor with the very detailed question I've never thought of, but
It's easy.
yeah, I knew you had something.
George Kittle. George Kittle's done it.
He
He
a good wrestler.
I think he could be a good wrestler, and I think he could be good on the mic.
Yeah.
I think George. Obviously, you have some stuff that you need to tweak, man. I'm telling you, I've seen some of these videos. They're intense. Like, the coaches are intense, and just because George Kittle's George Kittle, I don't think they take it easy on him. So I think it'd be really interesting to see the way George Kittle would kind of adapt to that world. I know people say that WWE's fake, that it's it. I encourage those people to go and watch that series to see how fake it. Like, there's a chick who has a bruise like over here, and it's just purple, and you're like, wow, like, they do take bumps, they do all that. Yes, it is choreographed, but still, it's still not. You're still throwing yourself off of a ladder. Like, it's still all that stuff. But I think George Kittle has a charisma. He's an athletic freak. I think he'd be really good transitioning over to that. I think he'd like to do it. I'm sure. I know last year he just bumped the Miz. Like, he kind of just like shoulder checked him. I bet you the 49ers, like, he had to have asked the 49ers, hey, is it cool if I do this? And I'm sure they were kind of like, yeah, but just relax with it. I know Gronk was in there for a while. Then he went back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I believe. Or, yeah, no, he went back to Tampa Bay. That's when he came out of retirement and went to go play for the Bucs. He was kind of a dud because you don't know if he's real or if he's fake. That's kind of the thing the thing about Gronk's personality. Like, at times he wants to be the wild child, and other times he's kind of like tries to be, I don't know, different. So I never bought him in the WWE. I thought he was going to wrestle. And then I heard that story that he didn't want to throw himself off of a little ledge into players or whatever, into the wrestlers, into like a pit of wrestlers. And 74-year-old Vince McMahon had to show him how to do it. And then Gronk did it. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're not cut out for this. But I think Kittle in that world would be tremendous. And I feel like he would really, I'm not saying he's going to win any belts or anything, but I think he'd be close to what Pat McAfee, Stephen Amell, some of these guys have done, where they go from actors or players to jumping into the squared circle. So I think George Kittle would be really good at it. And you can hear him, like, even at the Super Bowl, even when I've asked him before about wrestling, like, you can tell one day he does want to do that. So I think it'd be funny to see him in WWE.
Good answer, Fernando. Can't compete, but I'll have fun with it. The 3-point shooter from Oakland, the basketball team at the city, from March Madness, the white guy, he just kept doing a bunch of threes, doing like this and doing this, just celebrating for every 3-pointer he made. I thought this guy was over the top, so why not be in pro wrestling? There you
I thought you were like when you said Oak. I was like, wait, who's he talking? I'm like,
No,
okay,
Oakland,
now I
the
know.
basketball team that won their one tournament game and lost in the second
No,
round.
I was wondering who you were
I forgot the
referencing.
guy's name, but he was anytime he made a 3-pointer, he had a celebration. I'm like, okay, dude, relax. He made a bunch of 3-pointers, but yeah.
The flipping hell. Justin
Well,
Herbert
the
will be-
obvious winner, of course, is Fernando. But I thought you would have a little bit more fun with it, Gilbert. I thought you could
Nah.
at least give me like a Aaron Donald. I mean, he would be perfect for this.
He wouldn't be good on the microphone, though. I'll tell you that.
I mean, we
Speaking of
saw Ronda
clowns.
Rousey. I mean, how about?
Oh,
How
there
much
you
worse-
go. Have you seen what that clown has come out and said? Jeez.
Oh no! All right,
I
let's move
can't-
on. This has been a long show, man. That's why I wasn't.
Hey,
into
Rhonda,
it.
how about you get on the mic and show us what mediocrity is? I'll show you what mediocrity is. Get on the mic and we'll see what mediocrity is.
She should probably take that new show. Take the class with the new show that Triple H is doing in LA.
She should come over and I'll show her a thing or two about how to jump on the mic. Jesus. Thank you, Vic, so much for jumping on with us. That was definitely awesome. Another great edition of Rapid Fire that is every Monday, brought to you by Vic the producer. So Gilbert, obviously, just real quick, thoughts on the Canelo and all that stuff from last week?
Yeah,
the
kind of a little bit of a boring presser, but I'm not too surprised because both fighters have respect for each other. It's not like some kind of bad, some bad blood, some brewery, like something brewing with here, or you're trying to marinate something where you just want to get people to get pissed off and push each other. It's not Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, so not too surprised with that. But the one thing that's going to help this fight, I think, with Munguia and I think Munguia is an entertaining fighter. So on that point, from a matchup, I'm excited to watch it. I'm not saying it's going to be like the best fight, but he's going to come to fight. He won't be scared. I know. I'm trying to see if he was nervous or anything like that. He was just being professional and being nice to somebody he probably looked up to. But it's not like, hey, I'm here. I made my money. I can't fight and compete. No, I think he's going to be ready to fight. I don't think he's going to. I'm not saying he's going to beat him, but the one thing that's going to help this fight is Canelo's getting a lot of crap now for not fighting David Benavidez, and if you anytime Canelo's going to post something, it's like, why are you ducking David, or why are you being a duck, or why are you being this and that? So, but Canelo, I like what he said though. I don't like that he said you got to pay me $200 million to fight David Benavidez, but he's right. Benavidez is not a real a big time name. He's not a household name. So, the more they marinate this fight, and I get it, he might be old, or I guess Canelo's gonna get too old or whatever it is, but marinate the fight, and it might be a bigger fight. So I don't blame Canelo for trying to get more money, but that's the only thing I came away with. That it's like they're trying to build that fight and they're trying to hype it up, and so far they're doing a good job because everybody wants to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez.
I thought what Oscar did the next day when he's like, "This is as boring as a Canelo Alvarez." I'm like, wow.
He didn't say that on the podium. Like, say it to his face.
I know. So I'm like, whatever. So I just thought. By the way, I just saw a report that P. Diddy's plane is on its way to the Caribbean. They don't know if he's on it or not, but
is he trying to flee? Trying to leave?
Allegedly.
I just saw the notification, but I'm like, that's not good.
This is going to get interesting. Gilbert, I am going to give you the floor. I will step back and let you do your thing. So I will jump out, and the floor is yours.
I was hoping you would not leave me alone for this, Fernando, but okay.
I will not.
No, it's fine, but
I'm here.
It's not easy to share this, but it's bad news. But I wanted to take a couple of minutes to remember my family dog, my dog for the last 12 years, Cam. Cam unfortunately passed away on Friday. We had to put him down. He had a pretty bad tumor, has been spreading all over his body, and it wasn't easy to do. So I just want to take a moment to remember Cam because he saw me from when I graduated from college, being a clueless adult. I don't know what the hell to do in life, from going to job. Look at the mustache from the COVID years. So all the memories and just being there for my family, being there for the dark times, the lonely times, just always helping us out, just to kind of be happy. You could be angry, but Cam was not. So RIP to my dog, Cam. I can't believe he's gone, but for 12 years, 12 good memories, and I get a little emotional watching the picture. So Fernando, thank you for showing. That's his last picture right there as an old man, but so many years, 12 years, and I think I want to say he had his last walk, I think on Thursday, and then Friday we put him down, so it was not easy to do. So yeah, I remember that day like it was yesterday. So 12 years. Wait, that one. I don't know where you found these pictures, by the way, Fernando.
Your
So
Instagram.
yeah, so 12 years of memories, and the best part, like I got so busy the last 4 years. I felt like he's starting to forget me. That was my birthday in 2020. I had the Kobe mustache there. But I thought he's gonna forget me because he was spending more time with my family. But every time he saw me, he got so happy. And the best part, he made my family happy. He made my sisters happy. He made my brother happy. He
True
made my
American.
brother. There you go. He made my brother happy. My mom happy. Anybody who's come across him, I know you and your brother got to meet him for a little bit. Victor knew him very well. So just everybody who was nice to my dog, thank you for that, and thank you for letting me have the moment here to remember my dog Cam. After 12 years, RIP, 2012 to 2024.
Yeah, no, I love Cam. I got to meet him about 2 or 3 times. It was so funny because the day that I think it was during COVID, Dan and I went up there because we were starting to kind of do this, like we were starting to put this together. And so Dan and Gilbert already had a rivalry at that point, and and so Dan was just sitting there. We were in Gilbert's on his back in his backyard, just sitting there in like some lawn furniture, and Cam just really took to Dan, and Gilbert's like, shoot, and then Dan's like, what? Now I have to like you because Cam likes you. So it was definitely funny.
If he likes you, that means it's a good sign. And thank you,
Exactly.
Danny, by the way, for the comment, and also condolences to you for your loss with your dog. It's not easy. So thank you for saying that. And Moy, thank you for the support as well. But anybody who knows, putting down a family pet because you have to, you don't want to make the pet suffer. It's not an easy decision, and there's different reasons how it happens. But I just appreciate the support, and I'm gonna remember the 12 years. That's where I focus on. Like you always think about, like, okay, when is the time to say goodbye to a pet? When the years just go by and you have so many memories, they become a family member. So you kind of try to, expect when the day comes, but then it's always like, damn, it came too soon. But always remember the good times in the 12 years. So Danny, thank you for the support there, and hopefully, condolences and to you and your family. You guys get better, and you're right, we will reunite soon.
Yeah. So it's rough. I mean, that's why for a long time, like we kind of didn't want a dog or anything because like you're just like, oh my god, like
You think about it after a couple of years, like shit, when is gonna be the day you get to like say goodbye?
Yeah. So I mean, and now we have 2 of the little guys right there. So he's just looking at me. So yeah, Gilbert, honestly, I love Cam. Like I said, I only met him a couple of times, but he was awesome, and I always loved interacting with him. And it always made me laugh because he would fall asleep when we first started this, and you'd be like, "Hey,
oh yeah,
can you hear him?" And I'd be like, "He's fine." Oh, okay, I'll just say it's the fan or whatever, and I just start laughing. But yeah, he's a good. I know how much he meant to you, so definitely awesome. And I love that you named him after a certain journalist who got you over a million views on TikTok. So when he asked a certain question, but no, obviously Cam, you will be missed, and thank you for those 12 years. But yeah. So obviously now we will be back on Tuesday for a special celebration. It is Gilberto's birthday, so we will be it will be a little bit of a shorter show. We'll try and fit in everything so that Gilbert can go and celebrate his birthday, but we will jump on tomorrow around 4:00. Hopefully we have Lorenzo Neal on. Dan and Dago, Vic the producer, will talk about some stuff, and the good thing about Dan coming on today, though, Gilbert, is that he'll still want to talk tomorrow, but it won't be as much as it was because he got some stuff out of the way today. So, see, I'm an evil genius. I see I'm like a quarterback. I come out here and I'm like, boom, okay, let's do this. So, but again, thank you guys for jumping on. Thank you for everybody who makes this show better. You guys are always in the comments and doing stuff and really bringing a different energy to the show. We're happy to go live. Again, thank you guys so much for jumping on. We will be back tomorrow. Hopefully Lorenzo Neal will jump on with us. That is going to be a 4 p.m. show. So make sure you guys, again, tune in. And like Dan and Dago said at the beginning, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. Go down, check it out. Oh wow, there you go. Another thing that you and Danny having. It's his daughter's birthday tomorrow.
Hey, really? Oh, okay, nice.
Happy birthday to your daughter. Yeah. Happy birthday. Let's real quick. Happy birthday to Danny's daughter, and let's there you go. But again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. Don't forget to check out everything else on Compas on the Beat Network. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. By the way, the other day I was at Chick-fil-A and I had my sweatshirt on, and some like the guy kept on like looking at me, and I'm like, is he looking at me? What do you want, my goodies? I'm like, no. But he was looking at me because he's like, what's your sweatshirt? And I'm like, oh, I was like, it's a podcast that I started with a buddy of mine, and we've turned it all into a whole show. He's like, what do you guys talk about? I'm like, sports, combat sports.
This one they were looking at?
Yeah. And so then he's like, oh, awesome. I'll subscribe. I was like, oh, I appreciate it.
Oh.
So then I move on, and then little Daniel starts talking to him, and I was like, what did he ask you? He's like basically what kind of combat sports you guys do? And I said, oh, WWE, boxing, this, that. He's like, oh, that's the kind of stuff that I like. He's like, I'm going to subscribe then. And then he's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, we appreciate it. And so little, he's trying to weasel his way in, but little Daniel, you will not. But I appreciate when people check it out. Yeah, people, I've noticed that when I wear my sweatshirt out in public, like people are like looking at it and they're kind of like thinking, or they're kind of like, I wonder what that is. So yeah, that's pretty interesting when people check that out. But again, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to tell your compas about your compas, and don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. But for the time being, Gilbert, sabes que? Vámonos.
Yeah, I know we're almost 2 hours in, but definitely check out the newsletter. It's going to be our third week doing it. We talk a little bit about ourselves, what's going on in our lives, and whatever thoughts we have in the sports world. So please do that. Go to compasonthebeat.com, scroll to the middle of the homepage, shiny gold box, like Dan said earlier. Type in your email. But that's it. But on that note, ya nos vamos. Hopefully get Lorenzo tomorrow and Dan, because I do want to see that encounter tomorrow on a Tuesday. But on that note, ya nos vamos. Pues, vámonos.